Hi guys, back again for episode 5. If you saw my tweet earlier, it's been a long grind today. 5 episodes in one day. This is going to be my last episode for today. Hopefully I'm going to get them all posted by the end of tonight. Fingers crossed. So, like I said last episode, we are going to learn what makes a good player. It's fine having all the DM doing all the behind the scene works of NPCs, making maps, making bad guys, making dungeons. That's only half of an actual roleplay game. The second half is the players. And the players have to know what they're doing as much as anyone else. So I'm going to take this time and we are actually going to go through making a character while we go talk about what makes a good player. Right. When I'm making a character, I normally find that I have to find a rough basis of what I want my character to be. So normally, it's kind of a strange way of doing it. I listen to a song. And then I listen to a song so often I get a character idea from the song. What song you listen to? It's totally up to you. I've just brought up Spotify now. So let's see what I have. See what we find. It doesn't have to be too serious. I hope you're not judging me on my music choices. Let's just play the one we played last. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this, but that's the song I will be listening to while talking to you about character ideas. So, what you want to get from the song is like your character's personality. I normally find if I go with a sad song, my character has a sad tone to them and is a bit more serious. And if I listen to a song like I Am Now, it's a more upbeat, it's a lot more poppy, and my character's going to be a happier character. So, you'll listen to that a bit. If you want, you can listen to the whole song. I'm pretty sure YouTube has like a copyright thing, so I can't play it, unfortunately. So, let's just... I'll be right back. I just have to go get my D&D manual, and we will make this together. Right, guys, I've got my D&D manual. I know some people are sometimes cheapskates and can't pay out for the thing. So, if you want to comment in the video or go onto Twitter, follow me, I'll follow you back. And then I can send you an email with a document containing this. The D&D 5e Player's Handbook. I haven't got the Monster Manual, unfortunately, or the DM's Guide. But for this video, the Player's Handbook should be enough. So, let's open it up to the relevant page, shall we? Right, so, first thing's choosing race. So, well, we are doing John. So John is a human. So let's go to the human page, shall we? You are not a human, half-elf. If you want, you can, before you watch the rest of this video, you can stop, message me on Twitter, ask for the PDF, and then you can follow along with me. If you already have the book with you, that's good as well. Just find the human section, which is on page 29, and it should tell you some basic aesthetics, like it's between 5 and 6 feet and 6 feet tall. They weigh from 125 to 250 pounds. It just gives you some general traits, gives you some name ideas. There are obviously different tribes, So each different tribe has its own kind of like name, idea, and here we are. Human traits are on the bottom of page 31. So it basically tells you your ability score, each increased by 1. So these here, you know, like your dex, your con, your whiz, and all that. That's your ability score. So all of them get increased by 1. That's what it says. If I'm doing it wrong, put it in the comments, or come into Roll20, tell me. I'll let you change it. It's teamwork, guys. Tells you some stuff about age, some stuff about ailments, size. The base walking speed is 30. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a thing on here. Speed. So your base walking speed is 30. At the right at the bottom, in the green little box is the right, okay. This is where I went wrong. 2 different ability scores of your traits get increased by 1. So we'll just say he's a bit stronger than normal, and a bit faster than normal, because we're going to make John a warrior. Right. You also gain 1 feat of your choice. So we'll get onto feats later, I believe. So let's find the next page on how to roll stat dice. Actually, what we just did kind of like segues onto a player point. So what does your player want to play? It's the main question. Do they want to play a stealthy person who hides in the shadows and assassinates someone? Or do they want to play a monk who goes up to someone and punches them in the face? That's what you got to consider when choosing your ability scores. So if you're more of a dexterous person, you want to be someone coming behind from the shadows and killing someone, you want your dex score to be higher. Or if you're wanting to be like a brawler at the front of the battle, or a tank. Let's say you wanted to be a tank. You'd want your con score high, so you could take a lot more hits. And then your strength would be next, so then you can do some damage while you're taking all those hits. So it's what the player wants to play. Do they want to be the healer who heals everyone, who helps, who's a support class? Or who wants to be the person at the front? You know, taking charge, taking names, slashing baddies in the throat. But it all depends on the game you want to play. Some DMs ignore the charisma score. The DMs I play with, they say, right, charisma score doesn't exist, ignore it. Because we actually want you to act it out. If you can actually persuade the NPC, that's how your charisma is. So it kind of forces you to roleplay and get into your character more than you would. Because you actually have to say what your character would say. You actually have to convince the NPC to do what you want them to do. I mean, that's fine if you want to keep the charisma score there, but then after they rolled it, then you as a DM would have to go, what did you say to that NPC to make them do what you want? And if they go, well, I just asked for this, say, well, you obviously didn't, otherwise how did you get that score? And try to make them act it out. And if they're not having it, don't push it on them too hard. But that's the way we get more roleplay. The groups I've been in get more roleplay is by getting rid of the charisma score. So then they actually have to like play it out. Because you could get someone with a really high charisma score who's going and got a powerful person to do what they want, and they just said, I want that person dead. How persuasive is that really? That would be like a 3 or a 5 on an actual roll, instead of a D20, which they might have got. Acting out makes for better roleplay. If you get rid of that charisma score, it makes for better roleplay. I know it is personal preference. I know some DMs love having the charisma score there, and others don't. It just depends your DM style. So, we're back to this. So I was finding the page and then I got caught up ranting. That's why you don't rant, guys. That's why you don't rant. Have I missed the part where you roll dice? Probably, knowing me. Right, stage 2, I believe, is choosing a class. So, we're just writing an average Geo, really. Believe fighter is a class we can use. So, our hit die would be, let's try and find it on here, because I have never used one of these before. Hit die, hit die. You're probably shouting at the screen right now, telling me it's right in the corner. We'll put that human. Fighter. Here we go. Fighter level 1, I believe it is. Yeah, I believe that's how you do it. Can't find hit points. There's hit die, but no hit points. Right, well, I will figure out hit die in a minute, which should be on weapons, I believe, but it's not. Okay, I will have to find that, or someone can tell me down in the comments. Feel free. No idea where it is on the skill sheet, on the actual sheet. That's an NPC sheet. So, oh, okay. That's how we roll the, right. Okay, I think I get it now. Core stats. So we're going to have to roll these core stats because I cannot find anything else. But as a fighter, our core stats are strength and dexterity. Oh, no, sorry, strength or dexterity. And as our saving throws, which we are proficient at, which I believe, are constitution and strength. So we tick them boxes. I'm pretty sure you all know how to do this, and you're probably screaming at me for doing it so utterly wrong. Yes. And we're proficient in all armors, shields, simple and material weapons. So that comes to when you're buying stuff, I believe. So it looks like we might actually have to roll dice now. So, okay. So that's for different rule sets and different things, but Just keep them all to default. It should be fine. Right, okay, so I believe we roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 d20s. So, /r 6 d20. And there are ability scores, I believe. We put them in. So one of them we are going to be really, really bad at. And the others... Well, actually, let's reroll. We are going to do it without charisma. This is how ours is going to be set up. Charisma's just not going to be used. So let's reroll. Right, okay. There we go. So, we will have 18. Shall we say 18 in there? So that's the 18 gone. We'll have the 17 in the strength. Because we already have a +1 in there, we can actually make that an 18 as well. So then we have a 15 and a 14 and an 8. So I don't think our character's that smart. So he's going to have 8 intelligence. He's going to have 6. We're going to put the 15 in dexterity because we had that +1. It's going to turn into a 16. And then we just have the 14 to place in wisdom. So you see, as we pop them in, our modifiers showed up automatically, which is pretty handy. And then we also have these. So if we're making a saving throw, I believe it does it. Yep. There we go. So that's how much we got on our dice, I believe. So if you hover over it, it shows you what rolled. So you got a 9 plus 6 plus 0 equals. So we got a 3 plus 6 is 9. This is, I don't know what that is, to be honest with you guys. I don't know why it's done 2 rolls for John. But we'll find that out. So a death saving throw. Let's see if that works. 8. So I believe we would have died there. Way to go, John. So that's skills. We're coming to round about the right time to wrap some stuff up, to be honest. But as you see, because we filled them in, some other bits have been filled in with as far as we can carry on making a character, and I can explain about character, how to be a better player through with it, or I can just tag it on to the end of this video right now. We can stop making a character for right now. So, when making a character, you have to think what you want to play. Like I said before, do you want to play a stealth? Do you want to play someone who's really strong, a brute man, someone who can take loads of damage, or someone who can heal everyone in the party? So that's what the players have to think about first. And once I've thought about that, that's the kind of the difficult part over. And then, like I said before as well, listen to a song, or get your players to listen to some music, and then try make them feel out a character through music. It makes a quite a powerful character because you've listened to that song, you understand that song, you can even make a character from that song. And that makes a better character as well because the player has listened to that character's song. And that character's song could say a lot about that character. We do it in every time I make a character, I listen to a song. It's just a given. If I've made a character, I have listened to a song to make that character. I haven't made the character and then found a song. I found the song, then made the character from the song. Not many people do that. Some people just whip up a character really quick. But I like to know my character's fears Like, what do they fear the most? What is their favourite food? What is their favourite weather? What's their favourite colour? What's their favourite animal? Get really in depth. If you want your players to take it seriously, give them a list of questions. Just give them like a list of questions saying what's their fear, what's their favourite food, what's their political stance, so on and so forth, about some questions that you think could help them develop a character. Think of it in like, if you were asking a person, you would want to know A, B, and C about that person. Give them questions. And then they'd answer them, but answer from their character. And then they'd understand their character more, and grow to appreciate their character more. I find normally, as you play, the player will slowly get to know their character. Like, I can find stuff out about my character that I didn't know before. I can plan, I can get into my character as much as I can without role-playing, go into a session and find something out new. You know, my character shed amnesia. I planned her to be, kind of like, I knew she was going to be somewhat feisty and, somewhat gives her opinion, doesn't care who listens to it or doesn't care what people thinks about it. But she was put in a situation where the character, with her background and with her history, would actually act really feisty and really sarcastic. And then her bad luck has never seemed to end since that day. So she's continuously going down that feisty route. And it actually suits the character more. So a player will come across exactly the same kinks as a DM. They will find out things, they will improve things that they didn't know were there. Like, a DM might find a rule that should be there, but it isn't, so they have to put one in place. Where a player would find out something about their character that they didn't before. They might not like it, but it develops the character. A player doesn't have to like their character. The character could be the biggest asshole in the world, but a good player would play the biggest asshole in the world. And then it comes on to, like, how you separate player from character. I know some players don't separate themselves from their character. And then when their character dies, they feel like they're being attacked by the GM because the character is dead. You have to get across to your players, you're not out to kill their character, but if they do something stupid, maybe a rock just might fall and land on the character. Maybe a giant boulder might roll out Indiana Jones style and squish them like a bug. But you have to tell them it's not personal if their character dies. I've seen many games where someone's left because they thought they were being attacked by the GM because the GM killed off their character. No, the GM's not attacking you. He's doing his job. You made a stupid decision. He's going to punish you for it. DMs, don't be afraid to actually punish your players for doing stupid things. It's the only way we learn. Trust. It's the only way we learn. So it's alright saying we're building RP together. So I know an RP is not one-sided. There is the DM, there's all the preparation that has to go in, there's story plot that you have to figure out, there's this, there's that. But as a player, there's stuff the player can do. The player can get a handbook, the player's handbook, and do the character sheet. And then, after they finish the character sheet, go to the DM and go, alright, I've done it, I don't know if it's exactly right, but can you please have a check over? A check over. And the player will be like, yeah, sure. The DM will be like, yeah, sure, of course. It takes time off the GM. If you can get your characters done before the first session, amazing. But it's hard to say, do this, do that, when it all depends on you. I know some DMs, the one who wins my Savage World one, there's two DMs in there, and they were both like, right, we want to co-create characters. So they took out a whole 4-hour session. It was like, we're all going to make it together, and we're all going to discuss why you choose this. So we all discussed why we chose this, why we chose that, and it made the characters stronger. But if that's not the way you want to do it, if you want it so the players don't know each other's strengths and weaknesses, that's fine on you. If you want them to know, and want to have a cohesive party, that's up to you. It's totally up for debate what you do. You could have a game where you have one of each type, where you have a healer, a tank, a DPS, and 2 DPSs. That's totally fine. That's up to you. Or you could have one with like 2 tanks and 2 DPSs and no healers. That's fine. That's totally up to you again. But you get them 2 different parties from working together and not working together. So it's just up to you what you do. I can recommend working like taking out a session, calling it session 0, maybe doing it a session ahead of what you planned, because it's just character creation. You're not going to be actually jumping into any stories, and get all the players to figure out what character they want to run. It's all about character development, really. If you as a DM can make story arcs which involve some character's backstory, that's fine. But you've got to talk to players. If you don't talk to players, things can be misconstrued and twisted, and there'll be tons of misunderstanding. But yeah, I'm rambling again. I'm sorry. Right, I believe we're on about 27 minutes now, so I'm gonna wrap this up real shortly, and then maybe I'll punch out some Final Fantasy XIV videos like I promised. So, we will carry on John on episode 6. We will do the rest. We'll do his skills and maybe buy his gears if it doesn't take me too long to figure out how to do that. I'll have a read up, so I'm not totally noob fresh when I come to do the character creation. For me, D&D is relatively new. Like, I've played Shadowrun for ages. I've done quite a few homebrews. I never really touched D&D, really. So, making a character is kind of new to me. If you told me to go make a character for Shadowrun, I could do it easily without the handbook and memorize and get the basics done, and then bring a handbook and like get the guns and the costs and the weights and stuff like that. But with D&D, it's going to take me some time. Please bear with me. It's still day 1 for me. It might be day 5 when you find me. Find my YouTube. But if you could spread the word, maybe go on Twitter, give us a tweet, message me, or even come on to the Roll20 Playstart area that this is. The link will be in the video description, like I said before. Don't be afraid to jump on. Don't be afraid to go into Roll20. Send me a message once you're on, like GM access, or even if you don't want GM access, give me your Skype or something, and then we can talk over Skype. I promise you I'm not that scary of a person if I'm coming off a bit. I might be a bit shy at first, actually, which may be a bit of a surprise for you guys. But yeah, just give me a shout if you ever need anything, or ever want to talk about anything. And I'm off to go grind some Final Fantasy XIV videos out. So, I mean, see you later, guys. See you on episode 6.